Hello guys, welcome back to another Bitcoin update. Here right now we're seeing some very interesting price action, which I do believe can lead to a very important level here for Bitcoin. If we would come down here, could set up a very nice long opportunity if we would come down here to around 56,000. So let's dive deeper into the technical analysis here today and discuss how we can play this move that potentially is going to happen. So let's first start here on the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, this is our current Elliott wave count. We have this as a massive 1, 2, 3. Right now we're talking about this whole sideways action we've gotten here for basically half a year is still a massive fourth wave, and we do expect a fifth wave, which is going to take us to 100k, maybe even higher, which we're going to discuss soon again. And we can see here on the shorter time frame we have this as a smaller 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which was the third waves. And we can see here once again, if we take basically from the second wave here to the third wave, we can see if we zoom in here, that's where Bitcoin bottomed as well at the 0.31. So for those who were following me back in January, this was a move we caught all the way up to the upside. So very interesting to see here how the 0.31 fibs are heavily used by algorithms. We can see them on small time frames, and we can even see it on bigger time frames as well. So if we remove this one, we can see once again how the 0.31 has acted as perfect support here. Right now, the algorithms will look to sell at the minus 0.236. Of course, this is just a fib. They usually use this to take profit, so I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin goes through this as well. But if on the shorter time frame, as I said, right now we're having some kind of pullback here, I would really like to see Bitcoin come down to this median line. So this is a shift pitchfork, which I pulled from the third wave down to the fourth wave and then to the recent highs, and we're using the shift one here. So if in case we'll continue to go lower here, I would look for something like this. We could see some chop here, but if we start trending lower around 56,000, you have to keep in mind this target is constantly changing, but around 56,100, I'll be very interesting to look here for an entry, have a tight stop loss, and then basically ride it to the all-time highs, because I do think this sideways price action has to come to an end unless the top is already in. I see a lot of people are starting to discuss that the cycles are broken, the top might be in, and we're now entering a bear market. As I said, this is a market, nobody can know the future unless you have insider information, but for now I doubt that this is the top. Usually Bitcoin doesn't like to have this type of patterns as a top, even though some people are saying this distribution and we're now going to enter a bear market. I have said there is a small possibility if we come back here to our macro chart. This is a small possibility. I don't think this is going to happen, but for the bears out there who are saying we're going to go to 45k, I would agree that if we pull the fib from the first wave, we have a nice support here at 44, actually exactly 45k. So if we do something like this and then continue the fifth wave, is a possibility. I don't see that happening because I do think we need to start breaking to the upside. If we get a push to lower here, it's going to be very difficult for Bitcoin to climb up once again. But I'm keeping this in mind. This could be a possibility at 45k, and definitely an area I would be interested to trade off. But for now, I do believe we're soon to finish this fourth wave and break up to the upside. So keep in mind 56k, very important target. I haven't forgotten about this pitchfork. I got questions about it. I basically update almost every day in both the Discord and my Telegram. So we basically pull from the first wave to the third wave and down to the fourth wave here. Let us attach it here again, and we'll go away on the normal scale. So this is a pitchfork we've been having for quite some time, but we're using the modify shift. So this is still our target here at 70k. It was 68, 69. Right now it looks like it's going to be around 70k when we're going to reach it. So this is still the target here, but remember guys, price doesn't go to these median lines, especially the modify shift ones. It doesn't go straight away. We had a very impulsive uptrend here. Right now we're broken below it, so wouldn't be surprised we see some fluctuation. As I said, the ideal scenario is we come down to 56k. I would like to see one more pullback, and then we could ride this trend to much higher prices. So we can apply two pitchforks here at once. Don't get confused guys, I'll try to keep my charts as clean as possible. So this here, if we get here, is gonna be a very good opportunity. I'm just telling you guys, this pattern here, that if we come down here on the shift pitchfork facing the downside, is one of my most profitable trading patterns. And actually these type of patterns is I made the most money myself trading. So I would really love to see this with a very high probability we're at least gonna get a bounce. So in my opinion, I'm gonna look here to enter really heavy and then ride the trend to the upside. Right now we need to keep in mind the dollar has taken off here on the daily. The dollar failed to come below the 0.5 line here. So the dollar is pushing really high, up higher here. So that's putting a lot of pressure on the stock market and on crypto. So no surprise right now, Bitcoin is pulling back a bit. But as we can see, Bitcoin is already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red daily candles in a row. And we're sitting at this 0.5 line as support here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some kind of relief rally here on Bitcoin overall, but keep in mind the main target here is 70k shorter term. If we zoom in here on the 4 hour, as I mentioned yesterday, we predicted this move perfectly. If we pull from the highs to the lows here, we can see Bitcoin had a perfect rejection from the 0.31. So I told you guys, if we're going to continue higher, we need a 4 hour and ideally a daily close above the 0.31. But very nice for those who jumped in on a short here at the 0.31. We can see price after that trended downwards. So you need to be cautious here on all moves here, especially when we're in a ranging market. I've been telling you guys, be quick to moving your stop loss to break even, because this market is very choppy here. It's gonna try to bore you out. It's gonna try to drain your accounts, and once most retail traders are out of this market, that's when we're gonna take off to the upside. We can come again here on our macro chart and apply the pitchfork here that we've been talking about from the previous bear market lows to the all-time highs and then to the recent bear market lows. So we're still expecting some kind of target here. Probably next year is gonna come once again. We can see we once touched the median line. We're still expecting a second touch of the median line, unless the top is already in and this pitchfork worked even better than I thought, and we're just gonna enter a bear market, which I don't see, frankly, because we only just had the halving. Historically, if we look after the halving, we like to go sideways. So I just don't see how we would just enter a full-on bear market when the institutions have been buying this whole way move up and here like crazy. Usually the institutions know what they're doing on a macro time frame. So I would really like to see one more push here to the upside. As I said, this is my target at around 100k. I'm getting a lot of backlash still for that I'm being bearish when I'm calling for all-time highs. I see a lot of people talking about there's like a guarantee we're gonna go to all-time highs, and this is very concerning to me because previous bull markets previous cycles have not worked like this. Right now there's more retail traders in this market than ever, I believe, and I do think that it's a bit concerning when people already are talking about like 100k. It's nothing. I'm already getting hate for calling for 100k because I should be calling for higher prices. And for those, I said, for those who are super bullish, you can pull the pitchfork from the COVID lows here, and here is your target at around 160k. If we reach it, let's say in July next year, we're around 160k. So this is for those who are very bullish. I don't think this is going to happen personally. I would love for this to happen. I'm a big bull on crypto overall. I do think Bitcoin is going to go to some crazy targets, but I don't think it's going to happen, especially not in this cycle. We're going to need some big correction again before then Bitcoin can go to 200-300k. So we're going to have most likely one more push here, enter a bear market, and then we can talk about next cycle, some new targets. We can also look here at the stock market. The stock market has been pulling back this week. We can see the stock market pulled a bit back. Bitcoin has also pulled back. So they are quite correlated here. Of course, this is a macro chart, so they can, right now we can see some kind of decorrelation, but I do expect, as long as the stock market can continue to trend higher, I do expect Bitcoin to catch up to the stock market quite quickly here in the future. But we just need to break out of this sideways range here. We can see in the past also, when Bitcoin has been going sideways, the stock market has been trending up, but sooner or later they have always caught up here. Looking in the past, we can also see here when Bitcoin has been above the stock market, usually that's also corrected. So I do expect this gap to be closed on the stock market and Bitcoin at some point. Perhaps it could be the stock market coming down and then touching Bitcoin, but as we have been talking, I'm super bullish on the stock market, and I do think the stock market has higher to go, and so has Bitcoin. Lastly, I want to cover Ethereum, which have been quite a disappointment here. We got quite a big bearish weekly candle here, but as I've said, I'm quite confident that the lows are in on Ethereum. We can see this massive pitchfork we have from the previous all-time highs, or basically the all-time highs in the bear market and the highs we had this year. We can see we've gotten two bounces from this median line, so I wouldn't be surprised we'll continue range sideways here before we go higher. My target still remains the same as we've been speaking about. If we add this pitchfork similar like on Bitcoin, I still do believe that Ethereum can come up to this median line here. As long as we can hold the lows down here, I don't see a reason why Ethereum won't go up to this median line. If we zoom in here on the daily, we can see nothing much to say here about regarding Ethereum. We're still rejected from the 0.5 line here. Ideally, I want to see Ethereum come above this to enter big longs here. We can also zoom in here on the 4 hour, which we've been speaking about. This this pitchfork here, which I entered long personally in the members group we shared. Actually, I think most of us entered long here. So we can see we got a very nice bounce from the median line here. I quickly moved stop loss to break even, as we shared also for the members in the Telegram. And right now Ethereum has just broken below. So you almost always are guaranteed to get a bounce, especially on these bigger time frame pitchforks using the shift one, but to see continuation is going to be very difficult, especially with the dollar going up, stock market pulling back. So most likely crypto is going to go to the downside. Right now on Ethereum, I'm not sure where the bottom is. People are asking where's here the bottom. I'm seeing some kind of demand zone here. So here could Ethereum find support, but right now I'm just looking for further price action. You could add this pitchfork here and switch to the original. So there's a possibility that this original, if Ethereum is in fact super bearish, that Ethereum goes down to this original here. But we can see it's very steep, and I would really not like to see Ethereum do this, because this would challenge the previous lows here. But we need to remember, here's a massive pitchfork here, and if this happens, this could give an excellent long opportunity, just like it would give on Bitcoin as well if we come down to this pitchfork that we've been discussing. So very interesting times ahead. If we start getting this on Bitcoin and this on Ethereum, be prepared. These are one of my favorite patterns to trade. So a lot of opportunity right now, but guys, please be cautious. We're still in chop mode here when we zoom out, so don't get wrecked here. This bull market is, this cycle is definitely trying to bore you out, guys, and trying to wreck both bulls and bears. So just watch out, guys, and I'll update you again, guys, tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. Please consider liking the videos. I put a lot of effort uploading daily, and see you inside the Discord or in the Telegram, link below.